Okay, if you're looking for a little bit of a energy injection this morning, I think this might help a little bit and obviously point you in the right direction. So here we go on the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. This is the Better Body Academy podcast coming to you for another episode. If you're looking for a place where we do not do these stupid dumb diets, where we give you sustainable results over the long term, where we don't put you on a pattern of 7 days a week training because that doesn't work, this is the place. Now, whether you're a client of ours or you're just following along and listen to the podcast, we love you equally. What we're going to be doing is a very, very short podcast here. This podcast, we're going to be talking about something that certainly helped me change my life, and it's going to be a short podcast for you. So let me ask you a question. If you want to change your life, change your mindset, change the way you've been thinking about doing things, I'm guessing that you're hitting some walls in the process, right? You might be trained to get into a gym. You might be trained to track your calories. And as soon as you start doing that, it feels really fucking hard, doesn't it? It's just like, oh my God, I'm so busy. The kids are screaming. I myself, for example, one of the things that I'm trying to be very consistent at is content creation and serving my audience. And as soon as I go to put my video on, of course, the kids raise the voice and go through the roof, and it's fucking frustrating, and I get it. This is the life of a busy, busy parent. Now, I want to lay down a few principles. My belief is that on the other side of this discomfort, on the other side of all of the things you're scared of, you're fearful of, you're avoiding, is your freedom. Is your freedom. What type of freedom? Let's not be like obscure. What am I talking about when I say is your freedom? If you feel trapped by the body that you are in, if you feel trapped by the job that you are in, if you feel trapped by the relationship that you're in, if you feel trapped by the way that you're thinking every day, if you feel trapped by your life, your income, this all comes down to you're at the level of which you need to confront something in front of you that's causing you fear, discomfort, and it's there to challenge you to see if you deserve the next level of your life. Now, I'm going to say straight up, some people have had a much easier upbringing than I have. Some people have had a much harder upbringing than I have. For me, this is irrelevant. I think what a lot of people do is they say, you don't know what it's like for me, Jace. You haven't seen what I've had to go through, and you're right. The reality is I had a pretty comfortable upbringing with middle-class family that was instilled in me that work ethic will always get you somewhere. So whether you had that or not, now what? Now what? What I'm telling you is on the other side of all of the things that you are scared at lies your freedom. And if we can look at what those things are, like if what's the first thing that comes to mind for you? What are you scared of? Because on the other side of that lies the body that you like and feel comfortable in, the mindset that you escape from where you don't feel trapped and a victim to your story every day. There lies abundance in your money, traveling to places that you'd love to get to, new levels of your relationship. And I've seen this time and time again from people who actually start to challenge these obstacles. And on the other side of it, guess what happens? They start experiencing an amazing life. Here's what we need to do. Think about why we avoid this discomfort. Why do we do that? Why do we walk away? Why do we try to not do the things that we know we need to do? I'll tell you why. Because our brain is wired to keep us safe. It makes complete sense. The brain doesn't give a shit how you want to look. Your brain only wants to keep you alive. That's how we have survived thousands upon thousands of years as a human species because of this one thing. But just because you're surviving, that doesn't mean you're thriving in your life. Far from it. If you think about it, with everything that's worthwhile, you're going to have to take a risk. For those of you that are in our program, you took a risk, did you not? You took a risk because you didn't necessarily back yourself. You didn't necessarily want to spend the money. And I know exactly what that feels like because I spent my last $10,000 on a mentor when I didn't have faith in myself. I didn't necessarily have faith and belief in him. And so it was a big leap of faith. What you have to do is, rather than seeing these pieces of resistance or these red flags as something that you should turn away from and avoid, you've got to stop and go, hang on. As much as it's uncomfortable, that's the thing, the one thing I need to do. Rather than see it as a red light, you need to see it as a green light. So, to kind of take this podcast practical, I was sitting down before and I was having a list. I created a list of 100 of the things that come to mind. I was just listing them off. What are the things that come to mind when you're in a fitness and life transformation journey that you know you need to do, but you're not doing because it's uncomfortable or because you're scared? Now, the reason I'm just going to literally walk through this list and then the podcast is going to end. Because what I'm trying to get you to do, you can't fix anything that you're not aware of. Once you become aware of it, then you can fix it. Then you can address it. The biggest thing in my life, which sounds probably pretty silly, was that I didn't have the courage to do a skydive. And so I was kind of like, well, how can I walk out on stage and talk to people? How can I possibly sign clients if I can't overcome my own fear? That for me was the big thing that I had to overcome. And when I overcome the fear of skydiving, all of a sudden my life started to roll, right? So let's go through 100 do what you don't want to do examples, and then we're going to finish the podcast. Here we go. I'm not going to count them. I'm just going to rattle them off. Check in with your coach instead of ghosting them. Post into the Facebook group instead of just lurking. Track your calories instead of just guessing and wondering why you are not losing fat. Get 10,000 steps a day instead of just sitting down. Squat, barbell squat, instead of doing leg extensions. So we're just going to pause there. I want you to have a think. For those of you that already go into a gym, how easy is it to just get on the leg extension machine? While you're scrolling your phone, I'll do some leg extensions. Oh yeah, that's a nice burn. It is not even 1/4 of the quality of doing a barbell squat. But the reason that we choose the leg extension over the squat in most cases is because the leg extension requires far less discomfort than the squat. Let's continue on. Do deadlifts instead of bicep curls. Say no to Uber Eats. Eat chicken instead of McDonald's. Drink Diet Coke instead of Coke. Go to bed early tonight. Go to bed early tonight instead of watching Netflix. Meal prep instead of just, I'll see how the week goes. Log your food honestly into MyFitnessPal. Try skipping dessert tonight rather than I'll start tomorrow. Say no to booze instead of smashing beers this week. Use skim milk in your lattes instead of full cream this week. Choose Halo Top or Kenny's instead of Ben & Jerry's. Do a morning walk and get out of bed. Go for a walk instead of scrolling Instagram. Journal your wins, claim your wins instead of trying to continuously motivate yourself. Ask for help instead of pretending that you're fine and keep convincing you that you're going to try one more time by yourself. You've been fucking doing that since 1969 and it still hasn't worked. So why would it all of a sudden start working tomorrow? Track your sleep. Ask yourself, am I actually getting good quality sleep? Walk to the shop instead of driving. Actually go into the gym and lift some weights instead of doing cardio. Go to the grocery store with a shopping list and buy what you intended to buy instead of just kind of, oh, I just bought this and didn't really think about it. Eat some fruit. Take the stairs instead of the lift. Put your phone away instead of scrolling in bed. Get rid of the sugar from your coffee and add sweetener instead. Do one more rep instead of just dropping the weight because you hit 10 repetitions. Get off the machines and get over to the bars. Walk after dinner instead of just lying on the couch. Count the liquid calories instead of just pretending they don't exist. Have a conversation with your partner instead of pretending to ignore it and thinking that things are okay. Cook whole foods. Just eat whole foods this week. Stop caring about what other people think. Stop frying and start grilling. Do a workout while you're traveling instead of sitting in the pub. Park further away. Do some fasting for breakfast instead of eating at the buffet. Try going sober for 1 week. Think to yourself, do I really need to have this massive portion or am I full at half the amount? Track the entire 7 days, not just the first 4. Guys, here's the thing. I could rattle these off and at a certain point, they just start to blend into each other and you kind of start looking at me going, listen to this fucking guy who literally doesn't know how hard it is to be a parent. I just want you to know, I got my own struggles. Abso-fucking-lutely I do. I have resistance every fucking day that comes up. I don't want to write another script. I can't be bothered filming. Oh my God, this client is so emotional. I don't want to write back because I'm just going to get angry when realistically they just need to follow the plan. Oh my God, I don't want to get out of bed today and have that meeting. This staff member isn't performing. I don't want to have that fucking conversation. I've got the exact same problems. Oh my God, my strata bill just come through and it's now 3,500 instead of 1,500. And that happened today. And it's just endless and endless and endless. We're all the same. The only difference between the people that start to break through and the people that don't are the ones that see their obstacles and challenges. They don't go, oh yay, Bulgarian split squat. I fucking love those. They don't do that. They go, that's the thing that I need to do because I know that every time I avoid that, no one else sees it, but I know that I took a shortcut. So finishing off this podcast, I want you to just maybe, if you can, if there's one of you that does this, I'm stoked. Take 2 minutes after this podcast and ask yourself, what is the thing that I know I am avoiding? I know it. I just know I am avoiding this thing. Is it that it's having a conversation with your partner that you just don't want to have? Is it the meal prep that you just don't want to do? I'll tell you what it is for me right now. It's Sunday afternoon at 2:00 and the last thing that I feel like doing is filming reels. And in this moment, I've got all this like, it's like pushing up again. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I can do something that's screaming louder, that's less important. But this is the thing that I need to do. So am I going to take the easy road or am I going to take the road that's kind of like, it's going to help me move the needle forward the most? That's the thing that I'm going to get off this podcast and do. So the question is, what are you going to do? Are you going to keep putting it back? Are you going to check in with your coach? Are you going to come to a coaching call this week? Are you going to post on the group? This is how you make progress. all of your freedom in life and body and relationship and career and money lies on the other side of the things that you're not willing to do right now. And so if you're listening to these spiritual coaches on Instagram that say, oh, you should only do things that you are aligned with, that's the fucking worst advice that I've ever heard. That's literally the anti-advice. If you keep doing things that you're aligned with, you will get fatter, more broke, more unhappy, because you will stay in your comfort zone when you watch the rest of the world go forward. You don't corrupt your morals. There's a difference. You don't do things that corrupt your morals. You do things that are uncomfortable and are out of alignment, because it's when you get out of alignment, you start to traverse into new zones where you haven't been before, and it's fucking scary. It's really scary. So I'm going to love you and leave you guys. Hopefully this got you thinking a little bit. It's been the Better Body Academy podcast, coming to you for a short ad hoc episode. I'll see you in the next one. All right, guys. Hey, Pascal, how are you, legend? Paul is here every day. Paul, I mean, of all people, you are the epitome of this. You are the epitome of this, right? If you're wondering who I'm talking to, guys, here, it's our client group. Ron Hilario. How often do you just think to yourself, you know what? I don't need to come to the coaching call today, but you do. You just keep showing up. Good morning, Davey boy. So good to have you in here, pal. Good morning, Smitty. What's going on? Who else we got? We got chirping in here. Good morning, Renee. Good morning, Kerry. Good morning, Vicky. Good morning, Chantel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful start to today. Hey, Hamo. Hey, Letitia. How are you, mate? Rel's in the house as well. Guys, hopefully this has been helpful. If you are getting value out of the podcast, guys, the one way that you can help a brother out is to get over to either Apple or Spotify, leave a comment, let us know what you're thinking about the podcast. Perhaps an episode suggestion would be great. Other than that, I wish you all a great week. You know what I'm doing. I'm going to film some reels. Peace out, team. I'll see you soon.